Hey everybody, you're listening to Second Round Steals as we go through our 2015-2016 NBA team previews. Be sure to check out the rest of our previews, and don't forget to stay tuned with us for regular updates throughout the season. Hey everybody, here we are, it's me and Charles talking about the Chicago Bulls this time. Alright Charles, give me your take on them.
So last year they were 50-32, another pretty successful season for the Bulls. Same expectations this year. Last year they lost in the Eastern Conference semifinals, but the big change this season is that Tom Thibodeau was fired and they hired Fred Hoiberg as their coach. So that's something to look forward to, see how their style changes this season.
Right, exactly. So like you said, they got Fred Hoiberg in. It's one of their big additions.
Basically, their team is pretty much the same. They signed Jordan Crawford, and they drafted Bobby Portis, which was a pretty good move for them. Bobby Portis has like a pretty good name to yell at before rap songs, like Portis on the beat. But what key losses, they lost Nazir Muhammad. Mike Dunleavy is probably out for this season because he had back surgery. And of course, there's Tom Thibodeau and his voice off the bench that they lost as well.
Right. No more chain smoking for the Chicago Bulls.
Exactly.
Alright, so after what you said, with the development of Mike Dunleavy being out for the season, let's go through their lineup. For their starting point guard, they still have Derrick Rose. Once he comes back now, we're not sure if he's going to be ready for the season opener or not. If he's not, then it's a toss-up between Aaron Brooks or Heinrich for the starting position. Shooting guard, obviously you got Jimmy Butler. Small forward, I took a little guess. I say that Fred Hoiberg is going to run Tony Snell out there.
I don't really think Doug McDermott's ready, defensively or offensively, to really start.
I think he's more of a stretch four, honestly.
Okay.
I don't see him being a small forward, so yeah, exactly. So that's why I think Snell has the upside, sort of like what Jimmy Butler possessed, but I don't think as great as what Jimmy Butler became.
Right.
Power forward, still have Gasol, and center Noah. And obviously, I think they're not going to have as large minute proportion as they did previous season, but just with what you're paying the two of them, I think you need to start both of them.
Yeah. There could be some chemistry issues. I think recent reports are talking about how well Noah and Gasol fit, because they're both kind of similar bigs offensively, but defensively they're both relatively slow. They're kind of immobile, and Noah does have that injury history that we'd have to look out for, which can be said for a lot of the people on this team.
Yeah. Even Gasol had somewhat of an injury thing back with the Lakers. It was actually ridiculous how durable he was last season.
Yeah. So I guess that kind of leads to my big stat. My big stat for the Chicago Bulls was 16.9, which is per NBA.com, Pau Gasol's player impact estimate. And like you were saying, he kind of wasn't too great with the Lakers at the end of his run. With Mike D'Antoni running the system, he was being forced to shoot threes, but last year with the Chicago Bulls, he was almost an MVP candidate. He started in the All-Star game, and he was a really important player for the Bulls. And I feel like for this season, and maybe even last season, that the Bulls were Gasol's team. He was the leader, and they went as he went.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yep.
We also saw, just stepping on your point, there was ridiculous defensive stats for him. Like he was definitely a negative defender. No one's gonna say he was ever a plus defender, but he averaged a lot of blocks, and it's something we hadn't seen from him for a while. Just kind of going on my own, my stat I actually thought was more about the rookie-sophomore minute per game. I'm really looking forward to see Fred Hoiberg kind of distribute the minutes better, maybe get Mirotic involved more, Bobby Portis some playing time, Doug McDermott, like we said before, Tony Snell, even though he's not a rookie or sophomore, but just those young players that they have. I kind of want to see more minutes given to them. I want to see the future of this team start to develop, kind of how they trusted Jimmy Butler and he eventually developed into a superstar. I think they need to start trusting these other guys if they want their team to take a step later on.
Yeah, I definitely think with Hoyer, he won't run players into the ground like Thibodeau did. I guess there'll be a bigger distribution with players, and you won't see players playing 48 minutes a game like they did. Maybe we'll see more Taj Gibson, and like you said, there's more Doug McDermott and Tony Snell, but we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. So, big picture for this season, I mean, it's the same old story for them, I think. You know, they're starting another year, they have championship aspirations, they have the team to back it up, they have the depth, they have a quality pedigree on their roster, you know, like, everything's working for them. They're going to challenge for the top of the East yet again. I think, I'm predicting that Portis is actually going to be featured. I think they're going to start to kind of back off that Noah, Gasol, Gibson trio. They're trying to get younger, maybe a little bit like rangier, you know, maybe more shooting involved.
Right.
I think just with Fred Hoiberg, that's where the team might be going. I'm not sure. Obviously, I could be wrong, but I feel you don't really want to feature Noah and Gasol and Gibson, and there's always those trade rumors. I think this year might be the year that one of them's traded.
Yeah, I agree. I think Gibson might be a little unhappy with his minutes, especially with Gasol coming in last year and being really impressive. I think the minutes distribution will be really different for them. And like you said, there could be a lot of change in Hoiberg's system. I really didn't watch Love College or Iowa State with Hoiberg coaching, but recent reports are saying like the team is just happier and they're getting ready to shoot a lot more threes and play a lot more freely. And I guess with a little less super control like Thibodeau had.
Yeah, no, exactly. You know, there's not going to be any more Luol Deng getting run into the ground when he has like a broken rib and the flu.
Yeah. But I guess for my big picture, I think I pretty much agreed with you. But one thing that you kind of didn't mention was the injury problem. And I kind of alluded to it when we were talking about the lineup. But Derrick Rose, he's like probably for the rest of his career, he's only going to show flashes of what he once was. And if he's still on the court. I mean, him breaking his face basically and having to wear a mask for the rest of his career was a freak accident. But things like this might keep on happening to him. And having Mike Dunleavy out is also a pretty big blow to them. Dunleavy was a really important player for them last year, providing a lot of passing as a secondary ball handler and as a shooter as well.
Definitely. I agree with what you said about Rose. We're going to see those nights when he goes off and shows the MVP caliber. And it's extremely sad that we won't be able to see what made him so special on a consistent basis. But I also think some of the stuff that's been going on is a little bit ridiculous. No, there was the end of the year game with the Cavs when he kind of had his little passive-aggressive moment and kept deferring to Jimmy Butler. And it was supposed to be like, oh, he was getting unhappy that Jimmy Butler was the new face of the franchise.
Yep.
And then there's been all like the reports this past couple of weeks or so where it's Jimmy Butler respects Derrick Rose as a friend, but he doesn't respect his work ethic. You know, stuff like that. So I don't know if that's going to play into it, and if all those are true, and Derrick Rose is like causing issues simply because he still wants to be the guy when he's shown he can't be the guy anymore. I mean, I don't know. I think the Bulls are really going to be regretting that contract. You know, people were regretting it already because he's been injured for so long, but if he also turns out to be a prima donna about it, then I think they're going to really hate it.
Yeah, I guess he couldn't, like, at the time when they signed him, he was just coming off the MVP year, so he couldn't really do anything.
Exactly. Nobody blamed them for, signing him.
Hindsight is 2020. I think one thing we kind of forgot to mention was Nikola Mirotic. Like, he's also in that big man rotation as well, with Gibson, Noah, and Gasol.
Yeah, but
Mirotic might be getting a lot more minutes if they're trying to space out the floor.
Yeah, I think he should.
Potentially not a great thing if you're trying to keep all your guys happy.
I mean, let's look at it like this. Mirotic played 20 minutes a game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, just about
20 minutes a game, and he came in second for Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he led all rookies in win shares. It was ridiculous.
Shot pretty well. He shot 40% overall, 31%. So which isn't that great, but he averaged 10 points per game in 20 minutes, and that's with all the other guys on the court.
Yeah.
If he's coming off the bench, he's probably going to be their first option.
I I think he's a great option to have, especially in that open offense that Fred Hoiberg likes to run. I'm really looking forward to seeing something from him. And Doug McDermott, actually. Doug McDermott proved in college he was the man when it came to shooting off screens. And Hoiberg's offense is all screens and shooting threes. So I think Doug McDermott could have a very good year if they give him some run.
Yeah, I don't know how that'll spell for the rest of the team, though, because they're probably used to playing at a lot slower pace.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be some...
Exactly, yeah.
There's going to be some issues. Noah's going to get angry at someone. I don't know, but I think it's good. I think what's going to happen is going to be good for the team. I think they need to start moving away from the Thibodeau era as much as they can.
It makes them a little bit more exciting.
Yeah.
So would you have them at their team excitement scale?
I have them as a 7.
Okay.
I have them as a 7 right now, simply because, every year they're hyped. Every year they get derailed by Derrick Rose. Their hopes always rely on, Derrick Rose. We've read about it how many times. We've heard about it how many times. Every single year, the Bulls can go as far as Derrick Rose takes them. I think this time they're going to be really fun to watch because it's not going to be as reliant on Derrick Rose. Jimmy Butler is going to be the guy. That's been established from last year. You're going to see a lot more spacing with these three-point shooters, so they're going to go as far as their team can take them, not as far as Derrick Rose can take them. And, until they show that, super team potential, I'm worried that they won't come through with it, though. I feel like the transition might be tough, so that's why I don't have them higher than a 7. But I'll wait and see. I think I only need a week or two to be proven wrong about this, and they're going to start clicking and putting up numbers like crazy.
Yeah. My team excitement scale was pretty similar to yours. I had them at a 7.5 for many of the same reasons. But I have them at a 7.5 because Pau Gasol is a really intriguing player. His mid-range game is great. He's a fantastic passer, and I guess Derrick Rose is probably the third option on this team now, with Butler being the first option. Butler and Gasol probably flip-flopping between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And Rose, when he's healthy, is the third option.
Yeah.
We kind of saw that in the Bucks series last year, where Butler was the guy for the team.
Yeah, we saw it the whole year when Derrick Rose was putting up inefficient stats and Butler was killing it. And, that's another thing that could factor into the excitement scale, just seeing if Jimmy Butler can put up some ridiculous transformation from this offseason,
Mm-hmm.
Like if he became a sniper from long range or something. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I guess my prediction is that he'll probably have a little bit of improvement, but maybe his points go up with a more up-tempo system. But I don't really see much improvement from him this year. I think same.
I think what he's at should be the plateau for him, not because he can't go higher, but because he's also putting so much energy into the defensive end.
Yeah, exactly.
So so how about social media? Hit me up with some social media stuff for the Chicago Bulls, Charles.
Wait, I forgot to mention, I think, what goes into my team excitement scale. Do you think this team is a contender?
I'm not sure. Every year I feel like they're a contender, and then every year they just find a way to kind of lose it. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a constant cycle with this team. I don't think they're a contender yet.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. ESPN or whatever basketball websites always rate them in the top 5 championship contender. They're definitely one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the East.
Oh yeah.
Every like you were saying, every season, even with Thibodeau, who's a fantastic coach, they just weren't good enough. Whether it's they're not good enough to guard LeBron or they have injury problems, something goes wrong, and I really don't know if they'll ever get over the hump.
I don't think they can.
They're kind of like the Grizzlies, kind of.
I don't think they can with this current roster. I think they have some pieces in place that are going to be able to. But, I don't think when you're relying on Noah, we saw Noah take a huge drop last season.
Yeah.
And, if you're relying on an aging Noah and a really old Pau Gasol at this point to be your starting front court, I don't know. I don't know if you can really handle these pace and space bigs. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think they're a contender right now, no.
Yeah. I have them at around 45 to 50 wins.
Yeah, I have them at I see them as a 50-win team.
I guess we can move on now to some random social media stuff.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Derrick Rose is just a meme in himself, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you want to feel bad for him, but whenever you go on any social media, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, there's a Derrick Rose meme. Like, I sent you that meme earlier of Derrick Rose, why are you always dying? There's one where he's in a full body cast. Just feel really bad for the guy. But
I don't understand what he must do to be so injury prone. Like, is he not drinking his milk? Like, what is going on with him?
yeah, really, like, his style was kind of awkward because he did a lot of jump hops, a lot of floaters, and there was a lot of cutting in his game before he got injured. He wasn't really a straight up and down the court kind of guy like Russell Westbrook. He was herky jerky. I guess that kind of contributed to his injuries, but
I mean, Brandon Jennings has a similar play style, and until this past season, we didn't see him suffer a horrible injury. He has that whole the floater and the off balance moves because he's too small to really fight big guys. But no, Rose was at least muscular.
it could be all the minutes Thibodeau's giving him.
That's true too. That's very true actually.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, I guess we'll tune back in next time.
Sure.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Deuces.
Hey, thanks for listening to Second Round Steals, our NBA podcast. Please be sure to check out the rest of our 2015-2016 NBA team previews, and stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of different podcasts, probably weekly, and we'll be there every step of the way covering all the drama, great games, great plays, and highlights of the NBA season. So please be sure to check us out on iTunes, on SoundCloud, and on YouTube for your podcast needs. And stay tuned for more content outside of podcasts, like videos and articles, and even probably live discussions. Thanks for listening.